and I am the Duchess in The Duchess of Malfi.
Title character. I'm Tom Blythe, and I'm playing Ferdinand in The Duchess of Malfi, brother to the Duchess. Why is she the subject of his intrusive thoughts? I mean, I think that's a question that Ferdinand asks himself, so it would maybe be unwise of me to attempt to answer.
Let me answer your question with another question.
Because he doesn't know, and it is infuriating. What Natalie and I have discussed is this idea of he's fighting against all these intrusive thoughts and he doesn't want them, and so the fact that he doesn't really know why this is happening to him makes it more interesting to play with. So, yes, I think that she is one of many sort of unpleasant thoughts that he has, but they have such a close and unique bond that when it comes to feeling that way, she is the sort of natural. She's the only person he feels close enough to feel that way about.
Yeah, and
Not
I think
against. I just think he wasn't interested.
And I think they're more playful. And you know, of the time, although we're setting it, you know, not in a particular time period, it would have been very normal to have had a number of children and lost a number of children. So with the Cardinal being the oldest, you would have thought that there could have quite easily been siblings in between, and so a bit of an age gap.
Did we discuss mother?
Mother?
Oh, mother.
Mother! The mother, I think we spoke about mental illness quite heavily, and the idea that there being, well, this is certainly a conversation I had with Natalie, and I believe you'd had one as well, where mental illness coming down through the female genealogy, genetically speaking.
I'll take any one of those.
Genes. And so Ferdinand having this sort of side to him, we imagine for the Duchess when they were growing up, it was like, well, Ferdinand's obviously bonkers, and she was drilled on, oh, you won't be like your mother, you won't be like your mother. And we imagine that she died in childbirth, which again could be another kind of drive for why the Cardinal hates them so much. I think she was brought up in a man's world anyway, just because of, you know, and again it's sort of supported by that, I don't think the mother was round. I think Cariola's mother would have been the closest thing she had to her mother, and she is incredibly close to Cariola, but I think because she has been raised to be quite strong and in a position of power, she's quite comfortable. There's an interesting sort of conversation that we've been having in terms of Antonio, more sort of like the servant line in The Duchess, where as much as she wants him to step up and be stronger and be more authoritative, she has no idea what it's like not to be looked at as an authoritative figure.
I made a decision quite early on, especially after early discussions with Natalie about the aesthetic of the production, and watching the films that she had suggested as an influence, these German expressionist cinema silent films.
Still not over that, are you?
I love it.
Still very dark.
And in that, I made a decision that in that aesthetic, with that look on the stage, with that look that Julia's going towards with costume, that to just sort of to be standing like a bloke would look very strange and wouldn't really kind of work, and it seems that it makes sense that there would be a kind of heightened physicality, and especially with Ferdinand, because he's holding so much in all the time, it becomes a very tight physicality, and then because he's got his public face as the Duke of Calabria, that he might affect a sort of standard poise that then can be dropped in the company of people who he's close to, and then later in the play is lost completely as he loses his mind to some extent. I think there's a bit of it left.
Somewhere.
Yeah, so what interested me about the character Ferdinand is the opportunity to try something like that I hadn't done a lot of before, of really trying to change my physicality with the journey of terrible word, with the
get out
with each sort of stage of the character, and to see what could be achieved. And I think once, with the idea of the costumes we've been looking at, once that comes, that'll work even more with the kind of uptight, repressed physicality we have early on.